Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are leaving the comfort of the mundane world behind. We're stepping into a realm of pure fantasy lore,
Mm.
a fractured dimension where the fundamental rules of existence are not just bent, but, well, entirely inverted.
Yeah,
We are diving deep into the shadow realms.
that's right. And our mission today is really to unpack the source material describing this place. It's an ancient, echoing dimension of perpetual twilight.
And it's not like a neighboring planet or something?
No, not at all. It's more like a state of being,
Yeah.
a reflection of the mortal world. The oldest texts from the Dreaming Empire call it Nolak.
Which means the broken reflection.
Exactly.
And what a deeply broken reflection it is. This is not just, some gloomy place. It's described as the mortal world's second skin. Unseen, but you can feel it.
You can. And the sources say the Shadow Realm wasn't formed through an act of creation, but for everything that was cast aside.
So like every betrayal, every dying breath.
Every curse ever spoken in the mortal realm, it all finds its echo and its actual substance there.
It's the cumulative negative space of all existence.
That's a key insight. The lore makes it so clear. The air in this dimension is dense with forgotten things. Memories that don't belong to you are just swirling around
So the wind doesn't just push you, it whispers.
in languages you were never meant to hear.
Okay, so here is the immediate hook for you, the listener. This is a place where shadows have actual physical weight. They can crush you.
And time. Time just folds in on itself.
What's really fascinating is that even having a simple, focused thought can be a dangerous thing. So let's unpack the physics of that.
Well, the dimension operates on antithetical laws. Time, like we know it, it just doesn't move. It pools or it stops, or even reverses in certain pockets.
And power isn't drawn from gods?
No, not from cosmic light or gods. It's drawn from what was forgotten, from silence, from the cast-off fragments of reality the mortal world just jettisoned.
Wait, okay, if thought is dangerous, how does anything there function? Does, intense focus attract something?
Precisely. Thought is a vibration in a realm of silence. So to hold a fixed mortal idea, especially one tied to desire or regret, is to basically light a beacon.
Ah.
The realm itself and the things in it are drawn to that energy because it's so fundamentally alien to its own nature.
So communication is more instinctual.
It's often through gesture, feeling, or shared unfixed imagery. Yeah.
That explains why the geography is so impossible, so fluid and unstable. It shifts constantly.
It's molded by those powerful, lingering negative emotions. The texts have these incredible, haunting images of the landscape.
The castle's made of bone.
Castles made entirely of bone that rise and fall overnight, just depending on the psychic flow of the moment.
And there are rivers of this stuff called ior.
Yes, this lightless, viscous material that flows uphill,
Yeah.
defying gravity.
And to clarify for you, the texts suggest ior is a kind of corrupted, solidified sorrow. It's the physical form of deep grief,
It's black and heavy.
which is why it moves against natural laws. It's pulled by emotional weight, not gravity.
Exactly. And if you wander into the forest, you find these forests of blood iron trees. They bloom in this impossible silence, and their leaves, they're metallic, and they hum forgotten lullabies.
The only constant is transformation.
And the only reliable truth is the dread underneath it all,
So let's look up at the cosmology. The skies are starless.
lit only by these drifting, sickly shards. They're described as forgotten suns.
Dying embers of realms that were devoured.
Right. But those aren't the only stars. The lore says the actual true stars of the cosmos are seen from within the shadow realms as watchers.
Just peering in.
Distant, silent, cold. And falling stars here are a huge deal. They are not benign meteors.
No, the notes describe them as omens that strike like physical blades. They shatter the ground and memory at the same time, creating these wounds in the mosque,
And these wounds are critical. They act as temporary, unstable pathways.
where new horrors might emerge.
But the real anchor of the whole dimension, the terrifying core, is the black spiral.
A twisting vortex of unknowable depth.
It's a maelstrom of shadow and anti-light. And the lore says this is where the first sin sleeps.
A colossal ancient being that predates even the elves. What is the implication of that?
It's profound. The shadow realm isn't just dark. It's animated by the unconscious suffering of this progenitor being. Its nightmares bleed outward, constantly physically shaping the land around it.
So it's not a place, it's a dream.
The unending dream of a primordial captive.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And even nightmares have some structure. The cities, there aren't really cities.
No, they're echoes of cities, memories shaped into the rough permanence of obsidian and shadowstone.
And this is where we see some really bizarre forms of commerce, like the ghost market.
Yes. Traders there don't deal in gold or silver. They deal in names, in years.
You can buy a memory or sell your future.
You can buy the memory of a happy childhood or sell the next 10 years of your life to pay off a debt.
That is deeply unsettling, to trade your identity like that.
Then you've got the clockless bastion, a fortress where time just stops. Everything there is trapped in an eternal instant.
And the Library of Hunger.
Where the books read you, they absorb your life story, your regrets, with every page you turn.
So for a mortal who enters, and many do, right, they're fleeing something.
Always.
The danger is immense. You're stripped of more than just flesh. Your name, your memories, your identity can just be consumed.
And the time dilation is a huge risk. A blink, a single moment of lost concentration, could be a year. Or a decade.
We find all these references to people fleeing death or debt or destiny.
But the sources are absolutely clear. Few returns unchanged. And those that do are often decades older, just shattered by it all.
So let's talk about who's in charge, the ancient powers who rule parts of this darkness.
Well, you had the Rust Kings, who rule these vast decaying empires of forgotten industries.
Been the ink-blooded.
Powerful sorcerers whose magic is literally drawn from their own veins. And the Choir of Eyes, who govern through constant surveillance and psychic control.
But the real points of interest are the fathomless gates. They sound incredibly intimidating.
They're the ultimate portals. But they don't lead to other places. They lead to other truths.
What does that even mean?
If you walk through one, you're stepping into a reality that fundamentally rewrites your soul. To enter is to become something else entirely.
A total transformation of your essence.
Yes.
But if they rewrite the soul, what stops that from just destabilizing the entire mortal world? People crossing back, bringing these other truths with them.
That's the critical limitation. The gates are incredibly hard to open. They require tremendous power or sacrifice. And the energies are so incompatible that most mortal minds just fracture.
So only creatures of the dark can really cross.
For the most part. And somewhere, hidden even from them, is the final silence. A realm within the realm, said to hold the very first shadow gate.
The key to all the others.
Exactly.
Okay, let's turn to the main inhabitants then, the Shadowborn elves. Our notes describe them vividly. Cold, black skin, predatory, incredibly cunning.
And beautiful, but in a very dangerous way.
They're the tragic children of this dimension.
They are. They originated as kin to the mortal elves, but they fell into shadow during that huge war between the elder gods and the old ones. They were twisted by the realm's essence,
Sharpened by the ambient pain.
which turned them into what the sources call a nightmare race.
And now they rule the Umbleholds, these vast obsidian cities. They're the aristocracy and the executioners.
But their whole existence is controlled by this terrible intrinsic law.
The curse of displacement.
And it governs all Shadowborn creatures, not just the elves. Their very being is tied to the inverted laws of the Shadow Realm, which fundamentally rejects them being in exile for too long.
And this is way more than just homesickness, isn't it? What happens if they stay in the mortal world?
It's an internal torture. They feel a slow unraveling, a deep, constant, unbearable pressure.
It's described as drowning in light.
It is. The mortal world's physics, its gravity, its linear time, its light, it's all corrosive to them. Their bodies become unstable, their minds fracture.
So the mortal world, which fears them, is actually toxic to them.
Precisely. It's an existential barrier to any real conquest. Now, what happens when a mortal does manage to slay one in the waking world?
They aren't destroyed. And that's the truly chilling part of this curse.
Right.
The sources say their essence is violently pulled back to the Shadow Realm to reconstitute.
So they don't fear final death on the mortal plane.
They fear pain and delay.
And that return is agonizing. They are ripped screaming into the dark, their form shattered and then rebuilt. It can take hundreds of years for a powerful Shadowborn to reform.
And they always come back. Change.
Always. Some remember nothing. Others come back wrong with deep psychological trauma.
It's why they so rarely linger.
This brings us to the general menagerie of horrors. The variety is just endless.
Let's start with the things that are almost part of the atmosphere, the wraith serpents. They're basically black smoke given hunger,
And they just weave through the mists.
dissolving anything they pass through,
Then you have the Hollow Knights, faceless, armored things from forgotten wars,
just wandering endlessly, searching for enemies long dead. And the Shadow Mothers.
nesting in old temples. Their forms are impossibly vast, and their offspring. They're not born. They just emerge from pools of screaming, sentient ink.
And beyond those are the Void Heralds.
Towering, emaciated things carrying the will of something deeper in the black spiral.
The notes also give us some named threats that are just terrifying. The predators that feed on more than flesh.
The hollowed shadows, empty-eyed, shaped like men. They're drawn to powerful emotion.
And they feed on memory.
They erase your past with every touch. They don't want to kill you. They want to wipe away any trace you ever existed.
And the Merc Beasts.
Lupine horrors. They hunt in packs, their bodies made of smoke and sinew. Their breath rots steel. Their howls strip your sanity.
Definitely noted. Avoid the Merc Beasts.
Yeah.
You also mentioned the Varric Tall. They sound like they embody the treacherous heart of the realm.
They do. They're veiled specters, silver tongues, burning eyes. They rarely attack directly. They speak truths that wound your soul and offer these ruinous bargains that always lead to your own destruction.
And the Omen Crows.
They fly in flocks of exactly 100. And every single feather they shed is an unspoken curse just waiting to be triggered.
So let's transition to the magical economy here. It must be a huge temptation for mages.
A massive temptation. Mages tap into this potent ancient magic, but the sources warn they do it at great risk. It's inherently corruptive, not just dark.
So it doesn't just grant power, it twists the intent.
And the physical form of that power. It creates powerful but hideous cursed things. You read about weapons forged with this magic that pierce not just flesh, but the soul itself.
Or armor that literally weeps.
Grieving for the battles it's been forced to fight.
And what about the mirrors? The texts mention mirrors that show not who you are, but what watches you back.
That's a powerful metaphor for the corruption. The magic of the Shadow Realm strips away illusion. Those mirrors reflect the truth of the entities clinging to you, or the cost of the dark bargain you just struck.
So the temptation is limitless power.
But the price is always steep and irreversible. Because to summon creatures from this realm is to invite a danger that rarely stays contained.
There's that final chilling warning on this. No pact made in the dark remains unbroken.
The realm always finds a way to take its price, and it's usually something far more valuable than gold or blood.
And if we connect all this back, there's the theory that the Shadow Realm is actually growing.
An alarming theory, yes. The idea is that with every act of profound betrayal, every broken promise, every major moral failing in our world, a new gate is spontaneously born.
So the dimension literally feeds on our moral failures. It's a self-perpetuating cosmic parasite.
A parasitic reflection. It grows every time humanity turns its back on itself.
Which brings us to the final summary. The Shadow Realm isn't described as purely evil.
No, not malicious in the common sense. It's hungry, ancient, infinite. It's a true reflection, an inversion that reveals what the mortal world tries so desperately to hide.
Which raises the final important question for you, the listener.
To study the lore of the Shadow Realm is ultimately to study yourself, to analyze what you've lost, what you've buried, and what fragments of regret or betrayal you might be unknowingly feeding to the darkness every single day.
Because the lore ends with a chilling thought that lingers. It reminds us that there is always a connection. The realm is always waiting.
And yet when the veil thins and the stars vanish, when silence falls like ash, you may hear it whisper your name. Welcome home.